What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Thursday, everybody. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We have some history that was made yesterday that we need to talk about. We got some more answers, and we got just some more changes in the WNBA. And guys, we are going to talk about it all coming up next because Quita in the Morning starts now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to it today. Let's get to it today. And if you want to make a comment in the chat, just subscribe to the channel and you can do just that. All right. Here's the deal, guys. We're going to cover a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to try to talk about it as quickly as I possibly can, just because I've been told I am long-winded. so I gotta make it a little bit better. Okay, gotta not be as long-winded. Okay, and getting into it, the first news I want to talk about is the fact that Aari McDonald is back. She is back with the Indiana Fever. Guys, you know how sometimes people get an opportunity and they could either be upset about the fact that they even had to be in the situation to begin with, or they can take full advantage of it. Aari McDonald was someone who was not signed when the regular season started. She wasn't signed, right? No team picked her up at the start of the regular season. She was just on the free agency market, just waiting for an opportunity. Now, I'm sure, was she happy about that? No, I'm sure she wasn't. This is someone who is known as a good guard in the WNBA, but, in a league where good players still don't make the cut, it is what it is sometimes, right? It is what it is, right? She spent some time with the LA Sparks and the Atlanta Dream, and this is someone who was pretty effective, right? Averaging around 8.6 points a game, 2.8 assists per game, 2 rebounds a game over the last 4 seasons, and she found herself without a team. And what she did is she stayed ready, so she didn't have to get ready when that opportunity finally came. The opportunity came when we saw a situation where Caitlin went down with, for a couple of games due to that strain that she had. Then we saw in the next game when Caitlin was out, we saw both. The Indiana Fever was playing against the Connecticut Sun, and we saw both Sydney Colson and Sophie Cunningham go down. And the Indiana Fever had to make a decision. They had to be like, you know what? If this happens again, if Caitlin's out, our backup point guard is out, and our backup to the backup point guard gets hurt, what do we do? Let's sign another guard. Who's available? Well, how about Aari McDonald? How about Aari? Well, they signed Aari for a hardship contract, bring her in the fold, and Aari McDonald shows up and shows out. She's great. She's absolutely great for this team. She played in a couple of games, and meaning 3 games for the Fever, and she averaged 11 points, 3 assists, 2 steals. She was very, very, very good, right? To the point where it was clear, okay, the Indiana Fever need to figure out a way to bring back Aari McDonald because she's that good, right? And so the opportunity presented itself yesterday when the Indiana Fever officially waived DeWanna Bonner. More on that in a sec. And they signed Aari McDonald for the rest of the season, which was very, very good to see. Because Aari McDonald, she showed up and showed out. She did her thing for this team and made stuff happen. So now, officially, as of yesterday, Aari McDonald is on this Indiana Fever team roster, and guys, she will be on this roster for the rest of the season. All right? She is not on a hardship contract. This is a rest of the season contract, guys. Rest of the season contract with the Indiana Fever, which again is so cool. I always am a huge supporter of players getting the opportunity and taking advantage of it, and that's exactly what Aari McDonald did. I think it's going to be pretty fun to see Aari play with Caitlin because when the games that we saw Aari play in, Caitlin was out, injured. And so I'm excited about it. Now, I will say I was slightly surprised that we saw the Indiana Fever not go for a big, only because yesterday they also had to temporarily suspend Damaris Dantas. She'll be back with this team shortly, in probably in a couple weeks. The reason why she is gone from this team is because she is playing for AmeriCup for Team Brazil. And so, for that matter, also, Camila Cardoso is doing the same thing. And yesterday, also, the Chicago Sky temporarily suspended Camila as well because both Damaris and Camila are going to play for Team Brazil in AmeriCup. But the whole point of this feature, the whole point of me talking about Aari, is to just give another example of when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, and how just because you don't like necessarily the situation that you're in doesn't mean you shouldn't have a positive attitude about it and take full advantage of the next opportunity. Because again, Aari McDonald could be salty still about the fact that no team picked her up at the start of the season. But no, she came into the Indiana Fever locker room knowing that she was on a hardship contract, knowing that she may not be with this team for a long time. But she was like, you know what? I'm going to give it all I got. I'm going to pass the basketball. I'm going to shoot. And I'm going to show y'all that, yes, I am a valuable player. So whether or not I'm coming back to Indiana, whether or not I'm going to another team in the WNBA, I want everybody to know that Aari McDonald is ready. And that's exactly what she did. And I just got to say, I have a ton of respect for players like Aari who get signed midseason and just ball out of control. Because it's uncertain. The future is uncertain. And you just got to take advantage. And that's exactly what she did. A couple of things to note, guys. I do want to read out a quote that Aari said after the news was made that she is back with the Indiana Fever. She said, "I'm so excited to join the Fever. Although my time with the team was brief, it immediately felt like the place to be. I'm grateful for the warm welcome from the coaches, teammates, and fans. And most of all, I thank God for the incredible journey I'm on." And yeah, she is on a fantastic journey. And shout out to Aari McDonald. Like, let's go. Take advantage of this opportunity. I'm very interested to see Aari and Caitlin in the game at the same time. Now, I think that's going to be pretty fun to see because we have seen Caitlin play off ball this season, and it hasn't been to the most success, I would say, overall, when Caitlin plays off ball this season for the Indiana Fever. And I think you can actually try the experiment with Aari McDonald in at the 1, Caitlin at the 2. And I actually think that could actually work well. Now we got to see. We don't know for sure, but I am very curious to see that take place because, yeah, that should be pretty fun. That should be pretty fun. Okay, now that's Aari McDonald. What else happened? Well, what else happened is DeWanna Bonner. And she did post something recently to Instagram. But before we get to that, y'all subscribe. If y'all are a TikTok people, maybe, are y'all TikTok people? Let me know. We're going to get to the games that happened yesterday, including Asia Wilson's incredible night. But first, I do just want to walk through this Fever stuff real quick. Okay. If y'all are on TikTok, I have someone who you should subscribe to. Subscribe to Annie Costable on TikTok. I didn't know she was doing TikToks, but you know, it's cool. It's cool that she is. And now we get to actually verbally hear directly from Annie about certain situations. And I want to specifically call out the video that she made, I believe yesterday, about this whole situation. And she answered some questions that I had, and in case you all were wondering as well, I wanted you all to see that as well. So here's a small clip of the larger video that Annie ended up making yesterday.
I've learned from multiple
Wait, actually, can y'all hear it? Hold on.
sources is that from the onset, the fit between the Fever and Bonner was not a good one. After 3 games in a starting role, Bonner was moved to the bench in favor of shooting guard Lexi Hull, and 6 games later, she was done with the Fever. The Fever originally cited personal reasons for her absence, but what I learned later, again from multiple sources, was that the team was actually actively shopping her on the trade market. The issue with finding a successful trade option is obviously Bonner's $200,000 contract, which is unprotected. But the WNBA has a hard salary cap, which limits teams from making mid-season trades in a significant way. So when the Fever couldn't find a successful trade option, their only other option was to waive her. Or, I mean, they could have sat on her contract, but that doesn't benefit either party. The situation we're looking at now is that teams will have 48 hours to pick Bonner up off of waivers, but there are only 2 teams with the cap space to do so: the Golden State Valkyries and the Washington Mystics. Another note to this whole picking Bonner up off of waivers or not is multiple sources have indicated that Bonner is not going to be picked up off of waivers because teams have been advised not to do so. Why would that be the case? Bonner is in her 16th season in the WNBA. Now, you may be wondering why that matters. Well, I say that to say that when you're a player of her stature, again, a 2-time WNBA champion, you do have some say in where you end up. According to multiple sources, Bonner has a few locations that she's willing to play in, although she has one that's top of mind. More on that later. So if you're a team who knows a player like Bonner does not want to compete with your team, you don't gain much by picking her up off of waivers, considering that the trade market is so limited in the WNBA. After 48 hours, if no team picks Bonner up off of waivers, then she becomes an unrestricted free agent, at which point she could sign with any team for any amount of money. So the situation now is that Bonner's preferred destination, again, according to multiple sources, is the Phoenix Mercury. The situation in Phoenix is tricky because they have only about $88,000 left in cap space. Now, some people might think that's an issue given that Bonner signed with the Fever for $200,000. But if she becomes an unrestricted free agent, she could, on her own accord, sign with a team for the veteran minimum, which is $78,831.
Okay, though I don't want to play the whole thing. Subscribe to her TikTok. Watch it. It's at Annie Constable. Or I feel like I always say her last name wrong. Anyway, check that out. Basically, when it comes to this situation and a lot of situations, the number one source to go to is Annie. Okay, so I wanted y'all to hear it from her and whatnot. Anyway, so the reason why I wanted to actually play that clip is because Annie said something very interesting. Is that it was never a personal reason, and it was never day to day. So you all may remember over the weekend when Stephanie White was asked what's going on with DeWanna Bonner, she said, she's day to day, personal reasons, yada yada yada, and it made a lot of people be like, oh man, I hope DeWanna's okay. I hope her family's okay. I hope everything's okay, because the way it was said, it was like, okay, well, something's going on with DeWanna Bonner and we're going to support her in that process. But no, y'all was shopping her. She wasn't out for personal reasons. You all were shopping her. And that's why she was out. Because y'all was trying to find a team to trade her to, But there were no biters. And so she was just sitting out. And y'all are just saying that, oh, it's personal reasons. Oh, it's day to day. And that was never true. that was never true. According to the sources that Annie has, which I totally believe. And so I don't understand. And I hope somebody asks Stephanie White, what was day to day about DeWanna Bonner if you were trading her? What was day to day? Right? And who made the decision to sit her? Who made the decision for her to be away from the team? Who made that decision? Did DeWanna say, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm not showing up until you all either trade me or sort of get me out of there, get me out of here? Or was it the Fever saying, you know what? We're just gonna sit you. Just go away. Just go away until we figure out what to do. Somebody find out. Yes, we all know that. Yes, DeWanna Bonner did ask to. Yeah, she wanted to be out of there. So she told them she wanted out. We all know that. We know that DeWanna Bonner wanted out now. We know that. That has come to light. But the question is, who made the decision to sit her? Did DeWanna say, I'm staying home? Or did the Fever say, you stay home? That's the question. That's one question I want answered from some journalists. Okay? Answer that question for me. And also, number 2, I want to know, why in the world did Stephanie White say that DeWanna Bonner was day to day? I understand wanting to keep team information, but I don't think it's necessary to volunteer stuff that just isn't true. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Because last week we heard from, or last weekend, I should say, we heard from Stephanie White. And Stephanie White said about DeWanna Bonner, quote, she's doing well. Again, no timeline. I think it's day to day. And for us to make sure that we're continuing to be supportive of DB in her time away. That sounds like she's returning. Right? And so the whole thing is just a mess. The whole thing is just an absolute mess. And then you got this post, the post that I have up here. You can't really see it that well. I ended up just grabbing Christina Williams, another fantastic reporter. She ended up, you know how you see people take the main Instagram post and they put the caption on top of it and make it a picture so it's easier for people to digest. That's what she did, and so I just grabbed that from her Twitter account. But I do want to read specifically what DeWanna posted. And honestly, her post leads me to more questions. Okay? So, DeWanna Bonner posted this about an hour ago. And she says, a quitter. Nah, never been that. But when the time comes, ... And she does, in quotes, let's make sure the apologies are just as loud as the disrespect, end quote. And she says, in due time, DB, and in a crown emoji. What? What does she mean? Because from the outlook of it, it looks like she did quit on the team. But she's like, nah, I didn't quit. But she's saying that, hey, people are gonna be apologizing to her when the time comes. So clearly something else, we're missing something else in this whole situation. at least according to DeWanna Bonner. So we'll see. We'll see. I just wanted to mention that because it literally just happened before I started to go live. But supposedly, there is more information. Supposedly there's more information out there that we do not know about right now. But hopefully we'll find out eventually. Hopefully we will find out eventually. Okay, guys. Now, all of that random drama, random fever stuff, we're done. Okay? We're done. We're moving on. We're moving on to talk about the exciting feat that happened yesterday. Now, I wanna play the clip as I'm talking through this. I want to play the clip because I think it's super cool to just see the evolution of women's basketball in real time, and that's part of what we saw yesterday. So, yesterday, this was the play that gave A'ja Wilson 5,000 career points, guys. A'ja Wilson, the multiple MVP, the star of the Las Vegas Aces, the player who is just fantastic. First of all, I love this play. I love this play because this is a anything can happen play that they ran. So I want to actually talk through the play real quick, and then we'll talk about A'ja Wilson. Okay, so Chelsea Gray get to the A'ja, and then I don't know the specific word for this type of screen, but it's sort of a screen, but also not a screen. Basically, Chelsea gives the ball to A'ja Wilson, and then Chelsea runs off of A'ja as like a pick while A'ja has the basketball. And the idea here is A'ja turns, and then she looks. If Chelsea is open, she'll dump the ball to Chelsea for a 3 or a mid-range jumper or something like that. If Chelsea's defender actually guards her close enough, then A'ja can just take it herself. And that's exactly what A'ja did. Look at that. Decides to take on Tina Charles, get to the bucket, and make her 5,000th point. Guys, I mean, come on. You all know that when it comes to the WNBA, you all know that for the most part, A'ja Wilson's top dog. She is top dog in the WNBA because she is absolutely dominant, guys. Absolutely dominant. And I want to talk about her a little bit more because this is... Oh, actually, let me change my graphic. I think it's always important to celebrate greatness while we have it and while we see it in real time. There's a lot of times where we see great people do great things, right? And sometimes it feels like we don't just sit in the moment and really talk about what this means and how important it is. So yesterday, A'ja Wilson became the fastest player in WNBA history to ever reach 5,000 points. Fastest player to do that. Okay? So, here's the deal. Now, I wish I had a graphic for this. I don't. All right. A'ja Wilson, yesterday, a 3-time MVP, someone who's done a little bit of everything, someone who is in a large part carrying the Las Vegas Aces right now. A'ja Wilson scored 5,000 points yesterday in Connecticut in the win over Connecticut. So Las Vegas, they killed Connecticut. In the first quarter, guys, I didn't start watching that game and the Liberty and Valkyries game until the start of the second quarter. That's when I started watching. And I turned to the games and I was like, okay, Valkyries and Liberty are competitive, but what in the world? Connecticut kind of got back in it a little bit, but like they just got destroyed. Basically got destroyed. Anyway. A'ja Wilson yesterday, this was her 238th game as a WNBA player, right? 238 games she's played. And she hit 5,000 points. That, again, as I said earlier, that's the fastest a WNBA player has ever gotten to 5,000 points. Now, let's talk about how many games everybody else took, right? Angel McCoughtry, someone who has been talking, and I'll probably make a video about her later once I can like tie it with other stuff. Angel McCoughtry, a bona fide star in the W, right? One of the best scorers we had seen in a long time for Angel McCoughtry, right? She was able to get 5,000 points in 257 games. Took her 257. Diana Taurasi got to 5,000 points in 243 games. And Breanna Stewart was previously the fastest player to get to 5,000 in 242 games. So A'ja Wilson did it in 238. And I just gotta say, man, it is pretty cool to see. So imagine A'ja Wilson, who is only 28, guys. Like, here's the deal: A'ja Wilson she's not in her 30s. Like, she's not an old player at all, right? She's been in the league since 2018. This is her 8th season in the W, and she's already hit 5,000 points. I totally can see A'ja Wilson in another 8 years becoming the player who has scored the most points in WNBA history. Because right now, that mark is Diana Taurasi. Diana Taurasi has scored the most points ever in WNBA history with 10,646. Okay? But remember that we're not even through this 8th season for A'ja Wilson, and she's only 28. So if health continues to be on A'ja Wilson's side, dog, she's breaking the record. She is breaking the record, no problem about it. Okay? So yeah. Anyway, I do got to give a huge shout out to the whole staff with the Las Vegas Aces, because they knew coming into this game that A'ja was close to 5,000 points, and they gave people in the crowd these like 5,000 point like signs, and you know, it was like a whole bunch of fanfare and a whole bunch of love and all that stuff. Ultimately, this Connecticut game versus the Aces, that it wasn't really anything to watch. Like it just, you know, whatever. It was a blowout. It wasn't impressive of a game. But the thing that made this game fun, the thing that made this game impressive, was the feat that A'ja Wilson specifically made. She had 22 points in yesterday's game, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, 4 assists, 3 blocks in yesterday's game as well. And dog, she was, here's the thing. You got A'ja Wilson going head to head against the legend Tina Charles, and and A'ja was doing her thing. She was absolutely doing her thing, and man, it's greatness. It really is greatness in front of our very eyes. And I don't want it to be like, oh, whatever, A'ja's A'ja. No, like I really do think it's important to just take a step back and just see A'ja Wilson's career from when she was amazing at South Carolina. Guys, remember, in South Carolina, over her entire college career, she averaged like 17 points, right? 17 points a game, about 8 rebounds a game in college overall in all 4 years. But in her senior year, and also guys, remember this. A'ja Wilson started 0 games as a freshman in college for South Carolina. A'ja Wilson came into South Carolina as a big dog, right? Everybody knew how great of a player A'ja Wilson was in her freshman year. Everybody knew. And yet, she didn't start her freshman year, right? Then, of course, her sophomore year, junior year, senior year, of course, she starts it. And, of course, she's just, like, blows stuff out of the water, and she got a statue at South Carolina. The reason why I just mentioned that she didn't start as a freshman thing is she trusted the process. And you got to talk about that a little bit, right? This is someone who truly has trusted the process, trusted in Don Staley's schemes, trusted in just like the necessity that you have to become a overall great player, not just, you don't need to just score. No, you need to be able to defend. You need to be able to facilitate. You need to be able to do all the things that you need to do. And nowadays, like, you know, of course it was different back then. Like, it was a long time ago. It wasn't a long time ago, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it was different before this was before NIL was a thing and whatnot. But, you know, there were still players who were like, actually, at the time, it was like, actually, nah, you don't want to start me as a freshman? And I know I'm good. Well, I'm out of here. I think it takes someone. I think it takes a good bit to be like, you know what? Actually, let me trust the process. And I just wanted to talk about it real quick, because I don't think people think about it, right? You know, and then dozens of awards later, dozens of points later, dozens of accomplishments later, and we got A'ja Wilson with the Wooden Award, with the Wade Trophy, with the with the Naismith Award, with the Lisa Leslie Award, with 3-time first team All-American with the AP, you know, most outstanding player in the Final Four. Like, she did all this stuff, you know, all these accomplishments in college. And then she goes to the WNBA. Number 1 pick, of course. She becomes a 3-time MVP. Right? 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Finals MVP. Right? 4-time All WNBA First Team. Like, the accolades just stack up. And remember, guys, A'ja Wilson has never averaged less than 16 points in a WNBA season. Her worst season ever was her second year in the WNBA, when she averaged 16 points and 6 rebounds. The worst she's ever done, guys. The worst. Now, you could pick any player in the WNBA. Most of them have seasons way worse than 16 points and 6 rebounds. Like, I'm just saying that she has been elite basically from the start. And she's made it happen, Captain. She's averaging 21 points a game and 9 rebounds in her WNBA career. Like, this is when you add up average out all of the 238 games she's played so far in her WNBA career. She started all but 2 of those games, and she's averaged 21 points a game. Almost 10 rebounds a game in her career, while shooting a little bit shy of 50% from the field. It's important to celebrate and talk about players who are at the top of their game, and not just put it to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I just don't think that people are like talking about it like that, and so I wanted to just do like a short little segment to just talk about A'ja Wilson and like truly how impactful she's been, because it's just huge. It's huge, absolutely huge. So shout out to A'ja Wilson for those 5,000 points, and also Gatorade ended up doing. Is it even on sale? I saw it yesterday. After A'ja Wilson ended up getting those 5,000 points, I saw that Gatorade ended up making like a special bottle for A'ja Wilson. They had 5,000 available, and it was available on Gatorade.com. Now, I went on the Gatorade site. I didn't see it, so I don't know if it sold out immediately or what. But I didn't see it. But they did make a special bottle to celebrate her career points, and they also they also said they were going to make 5,000 of those bottles available to, you get it, 5,000 points, 5,000 bottles. You get the idea. Also, A'ja was wearing some pretty cool shoes yesterday as well. She was wearing her new Princess Tiana. I was about to say Princess Diana. Princess Tiana shoes, PEs for her A1s, and so that's kind of cool. But anyway. Polo says, "Hey Quita, what's your seat for tomorrow's game?" I don't know. I don't actually know exactly where my seat is. But hopefully, once I get the ticket, I'll let you know. But I'm not sure. I have no idea right now. I haven't gotten the ticket just yet, but I think I'm getting it later today. So, all right. So that's my little random spiel about A'ja Wilson. And just a recap of the game, it was kind of a blowout. Kind of a blowout as the Las Vegas Aces just easily got the dub. Just, yeah, is pretty easy peasy, lemon squeezy type of thing. But I will say, hey, Kirsten Bell, good job, Kirsten Bell. She had 8 points yesterday. Now, is that a lot? No, but like, let's go. Hey, she made an impact yesterday. And I think it would behoove her to lock in that same energy that she had yesterday. Oh yeah, Tisha, if you wanna share, yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, if you want to share the section, but it's up to you. Oh, it's in my inbox. Okay, I'll check it. Thank you. I'll check it after the stream. Thank you. Okay, anyway, it was a blowout. Remember, guys, Marnie Mabry is out. She's injured right now for the Connecticut Sun, and truly, they got no chance. They got no chance at all. She's going to be out for a couple of weeks, and so, yeah. Tina Charles was trying to do her thing, but, like, at the end of the day, dog, it's not enough, right? It's just not enough. Tina Charles had 18 points, but, yeah, it wasn't that great. It is what it is. Total domination by the Las Vegas Aces. All right, move on. I did want to talk about the wildest game, and here's the deal, guys. I was watching the game, and towards the end of it, when first of all, real quick, I'm gonna get to the New York Liberty in a second, but I'm gonna tell you, I continue to be impressed with this lady right here. Kate Martin is a fantastic fit for this squad, and the reason why is because she just plays free. Here's the deal. I keep saying here's the deal. I've been seeing people over the last couple of weeks, right? Say, oh, the Aces should have kept Kate Martin and yada, yada, yada. Here's a controversial take, maybe. I don't know. You guys determine if it's controversial. I truly don't believe that if Kate Martin was still on the Las Vegas Aces, if they protected her, if she was still on that team, I don't think we see the types of performances we've seen this year from Kate Martin with the Las Vegas Aces. I actually think that we are seeing the Valkyries put all of their players in the best possible situations that even their former teams didn't put them in. Right? Yesterday, Kate Martin comes off the bench, drops 21 points, guys. Not just that. There was a moment in the second half, I should have wrote it down. I don't remember exactly what quarter it was, where she had 2 back-to-back threes. She had a three in the corner where she got the ball, knocked down a shot in the corner, and then it was another shot towards the top of the key. And she was somebody who, and so she made a three in the corner, and then the Valkyries got a stop on the other end, and then they came back down, and then she made a three sort of towards the top of the key. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I was like, you better go ahead, girl. Confidence sky high. But the thing I want to actually really talk about is in the fourth quarter, guys, there was time winding down. At that time, the Golden State Valkyries was down by 4 points, right? It was 79 to 75. Right? 79 to 75. Okay? And the Golden State Valkyries had the basketball, right? They inbound the basketball. Kayla Thornton rushed a shot, which they had like 18 seconds left to go, and they inbounded it, and they were having some difficulty inbounding basketball. So really good defense on the New York Liberty's part, but they inbounded the basketball, and Kayla Thornton just shoots too quickly, in my opinion. And luckily, the Golden State Valkyries get the ball back. But the ball ends up going to Kate Martin. Kate Martin does like this. She just chucks it up. Like she jacks up the shot. Like she just jacks up a 3-point shot. And she made it. And guys, I gotta tell you, my jaw hit the floor. I didn't even say anything. I was just like I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And immediately, after she made that, I had to call my mama, and I was like, hey, are you seeing this? And she like, yeah. So I ended up watching the rest of the game on the phone with my mom. I mean, and I just shout out to Kate Martin. I understand, yes, the Golden State Valkyries lost. They did. They lost this game to the New York Liberty. However, dog, it feels like that was a win. It feels like that was a win. Just chucks up the shot. I believe that was over Marine Johannes. And I couldn't believe it. So that ended up getting the Valkyries down by just 1. And ultimately, New York had the basketball. The Valkyries fouled, and Sabrina Ionescu made both their free throws. And the Valkyries was only down by 3 points with 8 seconds left to go. And then Kayla Thornton gets the ball on the inbounds, chucks up a shot, misses. Rebecca Gardner ended up fouling. And so the Valkyries get a second opportunity And then they gave the ball back to Kate Martin and was like, do your thing again. Do your thing again. And ultimately, she wasn't able to do it. She missed the shot, and game over. Game over. We saw the New York Liberty win, 81-78. But I got to say, guys, the story of that game, in my opinion, really was Kate Martin. And it could be because I just love the underdog. And like, I was like, man, it would be so amazing if the Valkyries were able to pull off this dub. They couldn't do it ultimately at the end of the day, but like, what a game. What a game. What a game. This Valkyries team is just, they're fun. And their crowd is always in it. Always in it. I love to see it. And so, yeah, shout out to the Valkyries. Yeah, you lose. However, dog, what a game. What a game. What a game. Anyway, also career high for Kennedy Burke yesterday. I believe that was a career high. She had 20 points, 4 3-pointers for her. She continues to have a really good season. I absolutely think she is in the running for 6th Woman of the Year or even Most Improved. Like she's doing her thing this year, and absolutely making an impact. So anyway, that's the stream. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. If y'all could, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help the channel out a whole lot. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Quita, and I make content all about women's basketball. So please make sure to always tap in every single day. All right, guys, I will see y'all in the next one. Until next time. Exit video. Go.
Are you ready?
Ready, set, go.